Hey y'all. I am here, my last days in Bangkok actually. I'm staying in the Airbnb in Sukhumvit, which is an area in Bangkok, and yeah, so this is the street that I'm staying on, and I find it to be quite lovely. Like, I love how colorful it is, and it's a lot happening back there. So yeah, it's actually nice to see because it's like real. It's like real culture, right? Like, this is actually a lot of locals are living along this road as well. A lot of local shops. So I'm always happy to immerse myself in local culture. As you guys know, if you've been here with me for a while, if you've been watching my videos, if you've been checking out my content, you know I really enjoy learning as I travel, and the only way to learn is really to immerse yourself into local culture. Easiest way is to live in a local neighborhood 100%. Although I'm in Thailand, I just finished uploading a video about my time in Tanzania, which was literally this time last year. I think I was like, right now I would have been leaving Tanzania to go to Ukraine last year, or maybe I was already in Ukraine. Actually, I was already in Ukraine, so I left Tanzania. I did June, July between Tanzania and Kenya. So I just finished uploading a video about my time in Tanzania, and yeah, that's why I literally always say I have enough content, enough content and videos. Like, I don't have to record anything else for a good amount of years. Like, I have so much stuff that I've experienced over the course of almost 2 years now, and it's so nice to rewatch some of those videos, because as I travel and grow on this journey that I'm on, I always can find a lesson in something, and things start to connect at very different random points. So that video is basically about partying, nightlife in Tanzania, which was absolutely amazing. The nightlife in Tanzania was lit, period. It was the one place where I really let down my walls and I danced almost every night, and that felt so good, especially because I convinced myself over the years that I couldn't dance. I was too stiff, and also built up a lot of judgment around my body, other people's body, and how they move and express themselves. So it was just and I didn't realize that I've been doing that, but I would be so uncomfortable dancing, and I literally will always say oh, I can dance when I'm drunk. So then I started to go on this journey of not drinking as much. So it was almost well, can I have fun? So there were two things that came up. One, can I have fun without alcohol? Am I reliant on alcohol to have fun and to feel comfortable moving my body? Also, I would literally limit myself in a way of saying I just can't dance, which it's crazy because all of us can dance, and I know some of us dance better than others, but dancing is movement. And I think when we set aside perfection and choreography and it looking a certain way, and we start to approach dancing as movement and releasing and freeing ourselves, we can see it from a different perspective. So anyways, I wanted to share with you guys this experience that I had in Bali. As you know, I did 30 days of meditation and yoga straight. I took a variety of different classes, from capoeira to qigong to hatha yoga. I did salsa classes. I did bachata classes. I just did a whole bunch of stuff around yoga and meditation for 30 days. So I was taking 5 classes a day. One class that I went to was taught by Kamal, and it was called Aijo Qigong. And Aijo is a word that is from an African tribe, and I can't remember the name of this tribe. Yoruba tribe? I could be very wrong, but it's from a tribe, and it means dance, basically. So he teaches basically dancing Qigong. And so I went to this class. I didn't know what to expect, because Qigong is like martial arts. It's practiced heavily throughout China. It's linked with Chinese medicine, and I don't want to say it's a movement meditation, because Qigong can also be at a standstill, but it's a martial arts form of meditation. And so I went to this class because I really, really enjoy practicing Qigong. And I was like, okay, I want to explore more of this. So this class, I didn't really know what to expect. I just went. And when I got there, there is just a circle of people. They're like, we're all standing in a circle. Maybe there's about 20 of us. And then there's Kamal, who is the teacher of this course, of this class. And so yeah, the class starts, music is playing, and he's in the center, and all of us are in a circle, and everybody's just standing like waiting on, what is this about? What are we doing? Like, what is it? So the music's playing, so he starts just dancing, moving, flowing, high, low, like going through all of us. He's just going through the circle and moving, and we're all just standing there like, okay, like, what do we do? So everybody's just standing there, and then one girl starts moving a little bit. She starts like moving a little bit. He's going. And after about maybe 5-7 minutes, he goes over to the where the music is playing. He stops the music and he's like, "What's wrong with y'all?" Like, why? Like, he was like, "What? Why isn't anybody moving?" So all of us are like, we don't know what we're doing here, right? And he's like, so someone answers and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know we were supposed to start moving." And he's like, "There's music playing. Like, why do I need to tell you to move your body? Like, do you feel inclined to move?" And in my head, something went off. Like, yeah, like, I hear music. I like this music a little bit. Like, I wanted to move. Why wasn't I moving? Like, why wasn't my body moving? Like, what was keeping me still? And so he was just like, yeah, like, why are you guys not moving? Like, you hear music, like, you need someone to tell you to move your body. So that was that. So now he goes, plays the music again. Now everyone's moving. We're in a circle. Everybody's like, everybody's flowing. We're still like a little uptight where everybody's like moving their bodies. So, he's still doing his thing. He's going around us, through us, under us. Like, he's like literally like, he's high, he's low, he's on all this stuff. So, so we're just moving, and like we're in our same area. We're moving. He goes over, stops the music again. Are you guys stuck? Your feet don't move? Like, he's like, why are you in this same spot? Like, why don't you move? So we're all like, right? So then everybody's like, what's this dude? Like, what's going on here? So he's like, you're not stuck in that position. Why don't you move around? Okay, boom. He goes back over, plays the music. Now we're out of our spot. So everybody's like moving around. We're flowing through each other. We're flowing around each other. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's grooving. He goes, he stops the music again. Why are you guys just staying in at this one height? Why isn't anybody going high or low? Like, why are you staying in your comfort zone? And I was like, yo, like, I mean, I'm telling you, my mind just kept pew, pew. It was just like, and so then he's like, yeah, why isn't anybody going high or low or whatever? Okay, he goes, he plays the music again. So now we're going high and low. So now you see all these levels of bodies and all this stuff. So then he stops it again and he's like, why don't you guys jump? Or why don't you guys, like, why isn't anybody exploring the ground? Like, why isn't anyone exploring more? And the point of all of this, what I took from it at least, was how many limitations and boxes we put ourselves in. I mean, I left that class and I was like, even someone like me, and I would consider myself as someone who is very open-minded, very free-spirited, very like willing to get out there and try new things. And I found it crazy that there were still these boxes that I put myself in, these limits that I had on my being, on my body, on my mind, even on my consciousness. Like, I literally was just, it wasn't even a thought to me. It wasn't even an inclination for my body, for my being to go beyond these borders of movement. And I just found that to be so interesting when I left that experience, because it's just like it took for someone to keep pushing and like pushing and questioning, why are you doing this to yourself? Like, and that really showed me how closed off I was in my body, and how like I created all of these walls and borders, and I really wasn't allowing myself to express through my body at all. Like, I would never play with my arms, you know, like we have arms. Like, I would literally limit myself to these different parts of my body when I talked about dancing. And it just, because most of us, we are worried about like, what will other people think? Does this look silly? Oh, this feels kind of weird. But also when we think like this, we really put so many restrictions on ourselves, because we have all of these different parts of us that can move in all of these different ways. The body is amazing. The body is really like, our bodies can do so much, and we don't use them to their full capacity. We don't explore them to their full capacity. And so I say that to say, like, when I think back to my time in Zanzibar, it really was the start of me exploring my body more than I normally would. And also the kind of clubs that I went to, right? So it wasn't necessarily the environments where you had people exploring their body and exploring dance. Like, it was twerking, and you know, which is still a form of dance, still a form of movement, and I can get there. I can take it there now. Take it there, but also moving beyond that, moving beyond just one part of the body, and exploring different parts of the body, and what the body can do, and what the body can do, you know, like, just and even if it's uncomfortable, if it doesn't feel right, but exploring it, because it's like untouched terrain, and it's the unknown, and you never know what you can do until you do it. So yeah, Tanzania was really when I started to explore that and just go out and just dance. Like, I mean, there were nights where I would dance all night long. I wouldn't stop. And I felt so good. I would feel so good. And I mean, it was honestly an amazing experience. And it's so interesting because, like, I really link those two experiences to my journey of being more comfortable in my body. And also, like, I don't want to use the term celibacy. We've kind of lost the core of it, but as I've been practicing celibacy as well, just tapping into my body and learning how to be intimate with my body, learning how to explore it and enjoy it, and actually like take care of this physical material that we have that allows us to experience life. So experience life in a physical way. It's really interesting in how limited we can be, how limitless we are, but how limited we can be, and how we put ourselves in these imaginary boxes. Like, no one's asking us to be there. No one is saying that you can't move this part of your body or you can't move this way. It's like us doing these things to ourselves. So it's really nice when you start to explore these different parts of yourself and realize like how crazy the mind is, and how like crazy it is that you like really, and we're always doing this. And I think this is why it's really important to travel, to experience new things, to see new things, to have different perspectives, to tune into yourself, because I think the more you do this, the more you're able to break through those barriers and to understand that you put limits on yourself, because sometimes you don't even know. Like, I really went to that class and I was like, wait, me? Like, I'm limited in my movement? Oh, how? Like, I consider myself this very optimistic, free, easygoing, willing to try kind of person, and it just was never something that I had explored. It was just something so small but so big, right? Everything is so small but so big. It was just that one thing that just, like, I'm telling you, my mind just exploded. So I really encourage you guys to get out there and explore your bodies. I think we don't know enough about our bodies and what they're capable of and what they can do, and outside of how they look, right? Because I think we put our bodies too much in this materialized we view our bodies in such a materialized way of how it looks, and like we go work out and we're going to go to the gym and we want to do this and that and we want to change things and we want it to look a certain way and present a certain way, but how does it feel? How does it function? These are other ways that we can and should be exploring our bodies beyond just how good or not, or how good or not they look, because it also is a part of when we talk about body confidence. It's a lot more than just how good you look and how bodied you are. So I really hope this message receives someone well, and that you take the time to start exploring your body in whatever way that means for you, and not just on the outside but also on the inside, and starting to, and that's also, I mean, yoga is also a good way of doing that, and not yoga in the term of just asanas, but yoga in general, but asanas, in practicing the asanas in one perspective of yoga, if you're going to go down that journey, is a way to unify the mind, the body, and the consciousness, so you can break a lot of those barriers that we put for ourselves. So I just wanted to share that because that was something that blew my mind, and I know it's really the little things.